Yo, what's happening, people? Okay, so it kind of feels weird recording a video here because I'm not usually at home at this time, but it's what happens when you're a little bit ill. You gotta stay your ass at home. So that's what I'm doing. I'm staying my ass at home, at least for now. We'll see how I'm feeling a bit later, but for now, I gotta stay my ass at home. But yeah, so appreciate you guys sending through the well wishes. Much appreciated. Thank you. I feel like I'm on the better side of it. Well, hopefully I'm on the better side of it, though it did feel like it got a bit worse for a little while. But at the moment, I'm not feeling too bad, though. Yeah, my voice is still a little on the low side right now, so I've got to be careful with how I talk. Don't want to strain my voice too much, don't want to cause any damage or anything like that, so I'll be careful. But yeah, just wanted to come on here and kind of give an update and talk for a little bit. Kind of feels like I haven't posted a video for a long time, but it's only been a few days. But I guess when you used to post a bit more regularly, it feels like forever. But yeah, it could be a while before I do a reaction video. Hopefully not too much longer, but it could be a little while just because yeah, the thing about reactions is, at least for me anyway, is I want to be as expressive as I can, because that's kind of like, if that's kind of really what I want to talk about in this video is, why I started this channel and that sort of thing, and why there's certain requests that come along that I don't do. And the main reason I started this channel many moons ago was to create a space where I can just be expressive. I have other channels where I do different things, and I mean, I generally consider myself to be a creative person. I don't know why my computer's beeping like that, but so it's not picking up too much. Piss off. I generally consider myself to be a creative person. So there's things that I like to do in the creative spaces. But this channel was more about just being expressive, where I talk about whatever's on my mind. I might talk about this, I might do a vlog, I might do whatever, talk about food, whatever it may be, and that was that kind of space. And content's kind of shifted over the time, but yeah, more, I guess, recent years it's sort of shifted more towards reactions, and then I guess in more recent weeks and months it's been pretty much the Buffy reaction videos, which is cool because I feel like reaction videos are a good way to be expressive, especially I mean, I like sci-fi, I like action movies, I like video games, I like all this geeky stuff just anyway. So doing a reaction to say sci-fi horror show, well, actually, would you call it sci-fi? I guess more horror. So I mean, it depends how strict you want to get with the definition of sci-fi. But anyway, horror fantasy show from the late 90s that I just happened to never watch, and going back to the 90s, which was a very interesting time for me as well. So yeah, watching something from back then that I didn't see before and doing a reaction to it now is a cool thing. But yeah, for me, it's about just being expressive, and when your voice isn't what it normally is, it's a bit difficult to express yourself fully. But we'll see. I mean, right now it feels like it's getting better, and hopefully it is getting better. But we'll see how I'm feeling and where we go from here. But yeah, just about being expressive really is what I want to talk about. By the way, for those who are new, I do these types of videos every now and then, and it can get a little bit rambly, so it might not make sense right now. Hopefully it will make sense by the time we get to the end of the video. But yeah, these videos tend to be a bit rambly because I just turn the camera on. I have something in my mind that I want to talk about. I turn the camera on, turn the microphone on, and then I just start speaking and then put that video out. So that's what these videos tend to be. For those who've been here a while, you know what's up. But for those who are new and might not have seen some of these types of videos before, that's what I do sometimes. I ramble a little bit. So yeah, hopefully it all makes sense by the time we get to the end. And real quick, by the way, this is the last piece of vinyl that I ever bought. Why am I saying that? Recently bought The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, one of the greatest albums of all time. If you've never heard it, go hear it. It is incredible. But I bought it on vinyl a few weeks ago, so I'm just putting it on display there. I don't normally keep my vinyl pieces there, but just for show and for it look cool in the background. But anyway, let me try and get back onto some kind of point, because I want to talk about being expressive. And so some of the requests that I've gotten when I was doing the Buffy reaction videos were about doing a Patreon where I pull up the video as it's sort of uncut entirety. And yeah, so it's the type of thing that I don't think I'll be doing. And some of the reasons for that would be that, I mean, I do actually have a Patreon, which I set up ages ago, back in when it was just like the thing to do. But I guess I told a few people about it when I set it up. And shout out to the one guy who actually donated on that. But ultimately, in the end, I feel like Patreon is just not something that's for me. At least not for me right now anyway. Never say never. But I think right now it's just not something that I want to be getting into. I mean, the idea of charging people for content doesn't really sit well with me. I know what it's like to not be able to afford things, to you got bills to pay, you got this to take care of, you got that to do, and this and that and the other, and then you come back and the little time you have to just enjoy yourself, and now you got to pay the extra £5 just to watch a video. And it's like, I get it, and I just don't feel like I want to be putting content behind a paywall, and especially like just a video like that where an unedited because those videos could be like an hour long. When I record a Buffy reaction video, from the intro to the reaction and at the end when I sum up my thoughts or whatever, that whole thing could be 50 minutes, 60 minutes long. But a lot of it is the video. It's just the video playing, and for me it feels like a disrespect to people's time to just put something up that just isn't edited like that. Because for me it's like, if you're watching a reaction video, you're watching a reaction to see a person's reaction to something. You might find it because you're a Buffy fan, or I don't know, Tom Holland, Tom McDonald fan, or a Lauryn Hill fan maybe, or maybe you're a fan of whatever they're doing a reaction to. I don't know, Zoom. I said Zoom because it's on my computer, but whatever they're doing reactions, you might be a fan of that thing, and that's how you find it. But when you're watching it, you want to see that person's reaction to the thing. If you wanted to see the whole video, you just go watch that video, right? So for me, it feels like a disrespect to people's time to just put up a whole video that isn't prepared like that, isn't edited, because the focus should be on how did I respond to it? What did it make me feel? Did it make me laugh? Did it make me gasp? Did it make me whatever? Did it inspire some kind of thought? I feel like that should be the focus. And so to put up an unedited video that is just the whole thing just playing out, where I might be coughing or sneezing or in an R in, and then long periods or where I might not be saying anything at all, and it's just the thing playing. It just feels like a disrespect to people's time to do something like that, and then to charge people for that. Nah, it just doesn't sit well with me. I mean, Patreon, I think, is a good idea for I know some content creators, depending on the types of things that they do, but for me, it just doesn't sit well. Another reason as well is I feel like it creates an expectation of delivery, which I'm not always going to be able to do. If I'm charging people, I don't know, £1, £2, whatever it is, £5 per month, and saying, okay, for this you get such and such and such and such, right? There's an expectation of delivery, and then what happens when I can't deliver? Like, I get sick, for example, and I can't make videos, or something happens where I can't make videos, or I gotta go somewhere, I gotta do this thing, or maybe I just don't feel like I want to make a video that day. It creates an expectation that I not always going to be able to deliver. And I think when you do that, you create unnecessary stress for yourself. And yeah, I just don't want to do that. I don't want to turn this into something that creates more stress and animosity than it does joy, you know. Because I think, like I say, the main reason I started this is to have a place to be expressive, and that's what's important to me about the videos that I make here, about trying to be as expressive as possible. And I think that when you create an expectation of delivery, you're not necessarily always going to be that expressive, and at least not always in a genuine way. You know, if there's days where I feel like, for whatever reason, I'm not really in the mood to shoot a video, but now it's like, oh, well, I gotta do it because, you know, I've promised X amount of people that I'll have this ready by then I'm putting out a video there where I'm not really expressing myself in a way that I really, that is just genuine to me, you know, because I'm doing it at a time where it's not really natural for me to be in that way. And yeah, I'd rather not do that. And a lot of it, what it all comes down to is, you know, I think when it comes to being in a creative space or an expressive space like YouTube or any other, say, creative industry, excuse me, you know, one of the choices that I think a lot of creatives have to make is, do you want to make money, or, you know, do you want to be popular, or do you want to be genuine? Because most of us don't get to do both. You know, some people do, I'm sure there's a few people out there that get to do both, but most people don't. You know, occasionally you do something that's genuine to you and it turns out to be popular, and that's awesome. And the general wisdom, say, is to keep doing that thing. But what happens when you just don't feel like you want to do that thing? You know, and I think this is where you create these kind of stresses and create these kind of burnouts, because you're doing something because it's popular, and not because you really want to be doing it. I mean, not necessarily doing something that you hate, but you're just doing something either that you don't really want to be doing, or at the very least you don't necessarily want to be doing at that time. And I feel like that sort of thing creates these kind of stresses, these kind of burnouts, which I ain't trying to do. You know, I've been in that position where, you know, you're just trying to get things out, and it just doesn't feel nice. And at this point in my life, it's like I'm trying to be as stress-free as possible, and part of that means that certain things take longer. I mean, of course, I'd like to be in a position where, you know, your videos get 1 billion views or whatever, and you're making that kind of PewDiePie money. Of course, like, no, I'm not going to turn down, you know, that kind of thing. And, you know, anybody wants to donate money or whatever, of course, I mean, I'm not going to turn it down. But what I'm saying is that I don't want to create an expectation of delivery that I'm not always going to be able to deliver on, because I feel like that creates an unnecessary stress. And for me, it's important that what I put out, you know, is me, you know, because this is YouTube, right? It's you. Or, I mean, I know YouTube's changed a lot over the years. It's not quite that anymore, for the most part. But, you know, that's kind of my attitude towards it. It's a place where you be you, right? And so it's like there's this whole thing about, you know, the algorithm, and you got to make videos that are this long, or put out this many videos per day, and this videos at this time and that video at that time, and things like that. And I just don't get involved with that. Like, you know, like I said, I've tried that. You know, let me I've tried that, and yeah, I ain't trying to go back to that. You know, I think that for me, whatever money I make from the ad revenue, I'm good with that. You know, I put out a video, if it doesn't get blocked or copyright claimed or whatever, then whatever money I can make from the ad revenue, whatever pennies or pounds I can make from the ad revenue, I'm good with that. And, you know, I feel like I don't need to be trying to put myself in a position where, yeah, maybe you could potentially make more money, but, you know, I think when you focus too much on that side of things, it just creates unnecessary pressure, stress, and headaches in the other side of things. That takes you away from what you're really trying to do. So, yeah, that's kind of, well, pretty much the reason why there's certain requests that I don't take. I just feel like they're not necessarily bad ideas. They're just not where I want to put myself. You know, I don't want to create that kind of expectation. I can repeat myself a little bit, but hopefully you kind of get what I'm trying to say. So yeah, that's kind of like where my mind's at when it comes to YouTube, and specifically this channel, about just being expressive and just being genuine and just trying to maintain that and trying to create in a way that makes that sustainable, you know, because if I'm doing things in a way that I can't keep doing, it becomes a problem. So yeah, it needs to be sustainable for me. And some of these requests, I'm sure, like for other YouTubers, and you know, maybe if I was, I don't know, 19, 20 years old, it might be a different story. But for now, it's like, you know, whatever money comes to me, I'm good with that. And I feel like I don't need to put myself in a position where, I mean, like I said, of course, I'm not going to turn down money. I ain't dumb. But I don't need to put myself in a position where, sure, you could potentially make more money, but if it's going to come with a whole lot of headaches and a whole lot of that, it's just not where I want to be. So hopefully you guys are cool with that. Like I said, it might be a little while before I do another reaction video. Hopefully not too much longer though. But yeah, let me well, how long have I been talking for? I don't even know, you know, saying this? About 16 minutes. Okay, cool. All right, let me let me try and rest my voice a little bit, so hopefully I can get back to doing what I want to do a little bit sooner. But in the meantime, I appreciate you guys for checking out this channel, whether you come here recently or came here a while ago, whether you stayed for a little bit or stayed for a lot of bits. I appreciate you, so thank you. And yeah, till whenever, if ever, peace.